What's up, y'all? It's Spencer. I'm here in our little tour bus here. Where are we? Arkansas? We're in Arkansas. It's my first time ever playing in Arkansas, and I wanted to start something brand new. I do a lot of social media stuff, which is kind of bite-sized videos or stories or TikToks, which is amazing. It's really changed my life, but I want to get a little bit deeper with you guys and allow you to see a side of me that you might not have seen before. It seems to be the most important part of this whole thing, is that we actually get to connect and that you guys feel like you know me on a deeper level, because then I think the music hits that much harder, and I think this whole thing's a lot more fun for both of us. So, without further ado, I'd love to hop in to some questions. Now, I'm going to try to do this about every Sunday. We don't have a name for it, so if you have a name for it, let us know. Let us know what we should call it. Right now, it's Sundays with Spencer. If it changes, we'll let you know. All right. Let's see here. Beach or mountains? I grew up a mountain guy, and so I feel like I'm definitely more mountain than beach. I enjoy the beach. It's very relaxing to me, but if I'm thinking about where to live or where to spend the most time, definitely mountains. We grew up camping and fishing and hiking, and so that just feels very natural to me. I think at the beach I get a little bored. Something that not a lot of people know about me is that I'm very antsy. I don't like to sit still. So if I'm at the beach and I'm playing spike ball or volleyball or jet skiing or something, that's pretty fun to me, or fishing. But if I can't do the just lay there thing, which a lot of people, that's their favorite thing in the whole world, is just laying out on the beach being a raisin. Nothing against it. I get a little bored. So I either have to have a great book, I gotta be taking walks, be super active, but my favorite is the mountains. Megan Cook asks, what is your favorite song of yours? This is a question I've answered in the VIP a little bit, but I think it's worth answering again because it's one of the most asked questions, first of all. The answer is that they're kind of like my children, and so I love them equally but different. I think My Person obviously comes to mind as a song it's changed my life, and it's really put me in so many fun scenarios. I think it's been the introduction to so many of you guys, that you guys found me through My Person and through TikTok and all that stuff. And it's also so cool to see. You guys have no idea how many times I'm just laying in bed going through My Person videos, just got tears in my eyes, because it's just such a beautiful thing to be a part of. It's very humbling, and people use it as their first dance, as their engagement song, as their slideshow. They do the My Person challenge. So that song really comes to mind. Made comes to mind because a lot of people will tell me that they've kind of used that song in a way that's they've claimed it for their marriage and they've made it their song, which is really cool to me. I think My Person is that fairy tale next level moment of this is what we want, but to get to My Person you got to kind of go through Made, if that makes sense, and fight for each other and choose each other, and kind of those lyrics forged in the same fire. So that one means a lot to me. I also have a song called Kept Every Vow that I wrote about my parents, their real life love story, and so that one just will always, it's kind of like our family's song. It just means so much to us because it's my parents' literal love story, and they've been together for 40 years. So, and then Red Flags is so fun to play live, and Before I Do is so fun to play live, and Summer Us, I always have people be like, oh yeah, listen to that on the boat, and it's such a part of our summer. So every song kind of has its own little reason why it's supposed to be in the world. It reached the right person at the right time, and so it's not I have my favorites. I love all of them for different reasons. All right, here we go. Next question. Whoa, this is a good one. If you could write a song with JT, what would it be about? I wouldn't hate something kind of darker or sexier, like a Drink You Away. That'd be super fun, because it would just be so fun to play at an award show or something. I could see JT hopping on a Can't Stop the Feeling of country would be kind of fun. And I actually think JT would do really well on a super sad country song, a What Hurts the Most kind of thing, where it's it's very not JT, it leans more into the country stuff, because I think he would crush that. So Justin, if you're listening, look, we know you're listening, okay? Hop on hop on the Spencer train. Is that a thing? There you go. Let's see. When did it become real to you that you were going, quotes, viral? That's so funny because I've never felt like I've gone, quotes, viral. I've had a couple videos do really well, and that's very fun. To me, it's kind of been such a, like, I've been doing this, I think a lot of people might not know that I've been doing this for like 7 years, almost 8 years, which feels crazy. So 7, 8 years later, to me, it's really grown pretty steadily. I think in the last 2 years, it's definitely seen a more exponential growth curve. But, man, like, I remember I'll say this. I remember a few times early on in the TikTok days where there were some moments where I was getting, you know, like 200K, 300K, 400K, and then I got like 1 million or 2 million views, and I would have people I knew from high school or like people I went to college with like, yo, I just saw you on my For You page. And that's happened enough now where it's kind of a trippy moment because you're like, oh my gosh, like, or like last night I was at a restaurant with my parents. It was before the show where were we last night? Tulsa? Austin. We were in Cedar Park, we're at Chewy's, and the waitress asked me if I made TikTok videos. And I said, yeah, and she's like, okay, I thought that was you, so I went back in the back and I looked you up and I really like your voice, and so like, there's moments like that for sure where life feels a little different because of videos that are made online and stuff like that. So I think in those moments, I think when I go to shows and I kind of see the impact of a song, people singing along at the same time, that feels surreal, so that's part of that as well. But I've never had the like capital V viral moment that like changes my life though. And maybe this is me being bratty and expecting something else, but like when I think of viral, I think of like 50 million views, like a driver's license moment where like everyone in the world hears it. I think I've gotten a chunk of that by doing little bits of viral. So like my strategy is more, how can we have videos do well that kind of stack up to a total of 50 million views, but it might not be like 5, it might be like 200K, 300K. So by doing that, it's less like massive virality and more just like slowly inviting people into the thing, which I think is more sustainable and it's kind of more fun. I get to actually connect with more people that way. It's really hard to comment on a video that gets like that 7.9 million views thing. So yeah, I don't know. I think the question was, when did it become real to you that you were going viral? I think it's still becoming real. It's definitely something I'm growing into. And it's not like it's not this thing that I think of in my brain, like, oh, I'm viral, I'm famous, I have followers. To me, it's really about the music. And that might sound cheesy, but it's just very real. The fun part about this to me is creating songs and storytelling that really sticks with people. So when that does well and those things grow, that makes me really happy. But the virality and the views and stuff, that's just a kind of a cherry on top, if you will. Let's see. This. Okay, if you weren't doing music, what do you think you'd be doing as a career? I think there's like two routes. If I wasn't doing music, my next option would be something in entertainment. I just love storytelling and I love making people feel something, and like I love creating this plot or this story, whether it's songwriting. I'd love to like write movies or maybe do some acting, but I think especially comedy comes to mind. I've always been the class clown, always been the guy that loves to make my friends and family laugh, so I'm sure I would do something that comes to mind is like writing a show for Netflix, or something like Saturday Night Live was always a goal of mine when I was growing up. So now one of my big goals is to musical guest star and then host as well on the same night. So that'd be a huge goal. But I just love entertaining. I love like that feeling of making people feel something and they're like, wow, that was really fun. And so that I can get that in music, and I would love to do that in comedy. If I wasn't doing that, I think I would do something in the world of creation that wasn't as like look at me based. So maybe like writing ads for somebody, or like working social media for somebody, and coming up with ad campaigns like for companies. Because there's a way to do music and comedy and stuff interwoven through marketing and things where you could still be selling a product, but you're presenting it in a way, you're still telling the story, which is the brand of that company. So maybe something like that. If all those went away, maybe like I had just a love for like a lot of teachers and coaches I had, so maybe I'd go teach and be a football coach somewhere. What is your ideal date? I'm not a big go do something at a loud place guy. I'm a talker, if you can't tell by this entire video. So I want to go somewhere where I can hear the person, and I want to enjoy what we're doing. Maybe like compete in some way, just like a little mini golf, a little bowling, a little something like that, where it's fun, it's active. Maybe go on a hike. You don't have to compete in the hike, you have to race each other. But just something that's like active, where you can hear each other, and then most likely involving dessert, because every good date should end with, just Jenny's brown butter almond brittle ice cream. And then second date is where I feel like you could go to like a restaurant, or I actually like to kind of involve my friends early. That's always a good gauge of like, for lack of a better term, are they a good hang? Can they like be around people? Because it's one thing, one-on-one, you can kind of like, fake it's, maybe not the term, but like you can kind of fake it enough, but it's really hard to do with a group of people, especially when they're meeting people, and you kind of gauge, are they introverted, are they extroverted, are they nice and kind, are they like a little rude or standoffish? So I try to get there as fast as possible. Summer or winter? Summer, and I'm not even going to explain that. That should just be a well-known fact of humanity that summer is better than winter time. I see a lot of questions in here. I see a lot of questions here about like, do you want to be signed? Do you want a record label? Do you want do you have a big manager? That question's always really interesting, and it's not something I get to like explain, definitely on social media, because it's not like the place for it, I don't think. But I'll get into it here. So see, this is why we do this. This is it right here. I think the answer to me, it's like marriage. Of course, everybody wants to be married to their soulmate, but it's about timing, and it's about kind of being in the right place at the right time. So, like, I think that leveling up my whole team is something that I'm super interested in. However, I don't want to do it just to do it. And, I have a manager named Jeff. He's sitting behind the camera right now. And he's awesome, and we're able to do so much by ourselves, and we've been able to keep growing at a good rate in which we don't feel like we have to just like give away such a large portion of our business to see results. We're really kind of like scrappy and lean, and we get to do a lot of stuff that a lot of even signed artists, but let alone independent artists, don't get to do because our team is small. So we really value speed, we really value having less cooks in the kitchen, if you will, because we can move really fast and learn really fast, and I think that's a big part of why I am where I am. However, there is another level. If my goal is to play a football stadium, which it is, to get there, I think to work myself backwards from that is I need big old hits on the radio to have that. You got to have a radio team to have that. You have to have a record label. So it's in the cards. I think that does make sense to me. It's just got to be the right fit, and I don't want to get married just to get married. I want to do it because I'm freaking out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to move the needle. It's going to change the game. Until that, I think independence is really undervalued right now, and I think we're doing a really great job with what we have. So it's interesting. We're definitely fielding some of that, and that's part of the like weirdness of being an independent artist. Sometimes you're talking to somebody and you're taking all these meetings and it's all over the place, but Jeff and I try really hard to like, that's really cool, but how do we try to add as much value in your life as a fan of like giving you as much music as possible, giving you cool visuals? How do we make the live show incredible? And if we keep doing that, the word that we chase is undeniable. Like, how do I make this thing just next level so that the right people will come along? We have to grow and change and become the best version of ourselves, and that will attract the best version of a label possible. So not something I spend a ton of time stressing about, but it's definitely a part of, you know, growing your business and reaching more human beings and all that. So I'll keep you posted. If I sign anything, you guys will be the first to know. That feels like a great place to leave off part 1 of whatever the hell this ends up being called. Really just want to do a better job of like keeping the combo rolling. So let me know what you guys liked about this. Let me know what you didn't like about this. Let me know questions I should answer in the future. What were your favorite questions that I answered today? If you have any ideas on how to make this better, we're just here to chat with you guys. I'd like to make this like a weekly thing. I'd love to like have this be a thing that you guys look forward to, and it feels like you guys get to really know me better. Maybe we'll take some video questions from you guys. Like, we have a couple cool ideas. So we just wanted to get started, and this is the first iteration. So, Sundays with Spencer, as it's called right now, session 1 is over. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Hit subscribe, hit like. See you next week.